Yeah. Third question. In the Indian governance system, the role of non-state actors has only been marginal. Has been only marginal. First of all, do you agree that this with this statement? Critically examine this statement. What are non-state actors? Who do not stay in any state? Who are non-state actors? We know movie actors, but who are these non-state actors? Good. Non-state actors are pressure groups. Non-state actors are not necessarily pressure groups. Anyone like NGOs, okay, any groups of voluntary bodies. Pressure groups is one among the non-state actors. So civil organizations, NGOs, other pressure groups, okay, sometimes religious groups, all these are non-state actors. What is state? State is basically someone who's governing the system. Okay, for example, if we call the Telangana government, so Telangana government is a state, and at national level, the government is the state. Okay, non-state actors, so who do not have direct stake in the governance. So now tell me the framework of the question, just in 1 minute. In the Indian governance system, the role of non-state actors has been only marginal, critically examined. Yes, please. What is the framework? Okay, good framework. Jitendra, can you make some better this thing? Because directly, so you want to say that how they strengthen, how they are sometimes marginal, and give an introduction, impact on how non-state actors are giving impact on the better governance. Sometimes they are having their own set of drawbacks. Okay.
Yeah,
so
sir.
The question itself is negative in nature. It's a very common practice to give certain questions which are negatively worded. You see, they say that they literally saying that the non-state actors have no role in governance. Right? Are you able to understand the statement? They are saying that non-state actors have no role in the government, boss. That is the exact question. What do you think? So I'm sure everyone here disagrees with this statement. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. But can we tell that in a direct way, or we can just argue?
If you ask me, because we are UPSC aspirants, we cannot say it directly. Or else you can simply say, how is Adani getting a port in Sri Lanka and Australia? He's a non-state actor. So anyhow, non-state actors have their own say and sway in the governance and the politics of Indian system. That is there in any democracy, not only India, even America also. A lot of things are controlled by the big four companies, tech four companies. We all know that. So in Indian governance system, so politely say that, okay, the non-state actors are an extended arm of Indian governance, and over decades, it has been seen that various parts of non-state actors, various wings of non-state actors had their own impact on the policy making of the government of the day. However, not always the non-state actors could succeed in influencing the governments. It's a very delicate way of putting that most of the time they have influenced, sometimes they could not influence. Okay. First is, if they have influenced, you write the examples of how they have influenced or impacted the governance. What would be the best example? You can write about the industrial groups, right? You can write about FICCI. You can write about the Chamber of Commerce Industries, CCI. You can write about NASCOM, an IT platform where many IT industries have come onto a stage and continuously persuade government to give various concessions, subsidies. Even the FICCI is also like that. FICCI. FICCI means FICCI. It's a group or forum for commerce industries to come together. Industrial platform it is. It influences the economic policies. You can see that Nirmala Sitharaman, before making the budget presentation, meets with the representatives of FICCI. Did you ever notice that? So she takes their inputs into consideration. Okay, and then you can talk about various NGOs like Greenpeace, which is trying to shape the policy of government with regard to development projects. Greenpeace International, an environmental NGO. You can write the example of Greenpeace, no harm at all. Okay. And then another NGO called Center of Environmental Research in Delhi. It continuously guides government with regard to its environmental policies. If some policies are not in the interest of sustainable growth, it makes long articles and pressures the government to change those projects or something of that sort. And then you can write about the MKSS, Mazdoor Kisan Sangathan Sansthan. What is it famous for? MKSS? What is MKSS famous for?
Recently, farmer protests.
No, in 2005, I am giving you a hint. 2005, MKSS was very famous, became very famous. What is 2005? Right to Information.
Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan.
No, Right to Information Act. The Right to Information Act came because of the continued efforts of MKSS. Okay. So all these things you can write on the positive aspects of this thing, and you can even write about the farmers and their impact, farming groups, how government goes on to announce the MSPs and other parts. Okay. And in the marginal influence, you can write that not all the pressure groups have succeeded the government in pushing towards certain policies. Like if some environmental NGO is campaigning against the government policy, but governments in the larger interest of development sometimes don't heed to those kind of suggestions. And other drawbacks include like they become a kind of politicized comments or politicized inputs, which are not healthy sometimes. Okay, unnecessary lobbying and pressure tactics on the government. Okay, as it is seen that some NGOs are sponsored by outside agencies to shape policies in certain way, which may have impact on the development of the country. So you can conclude by saying that the pressure groups or the non-state actors had definitely significant impact in the independent India in shaping up various policies. And most of the times it has been inclusive and progressive. Wherever the suggestions or lobbying was not in the larger interest of the country or the progress of our nation, those places, the suggestions of these non-state actors or the influence of these non-state actors has been marginal. Okay. We are saying that whenever these non-state actors have come in a particular way towards progress, their suggestions and recommendations were taken positively. When they were not in certain progress or were against the development, they have been marginal. Understood our stand? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what we are seeing, Whose answer sheet is this?
Renuka, sir.
Renuka. Renuka, you are available?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you have given introduction. However, these are marginalized. So it's very statement in the starting only you are saying they are marginalized. So don't take that stand.
Okay, sir.
Sonu Sood's example is not relevant here. Okay. False bank accounts. You are speaking about the working of pressure groups. Okay, but here they are not asking you about the exact working of pressure groups. They are asking you about the impact of pressure groups. Okay. Now that we have the model answer, just verify with the model answer, Renuka, and then you can arrive at your own good answer. Okay. Okay, Renuka.
Yes, sir.